Yes, yes, so Hairless here. We are back with Erik today. He will be singing Black Velvet. This was a poll winner of 2 songs I've received a lot of requests for. As with our last time hearing Erik, which was his cover of House of the Rising Sun, that was an epic dark version. This one, it just says dark version, so that will be cool to see. I love the original song Black Velvet by Alana Miles. I think it's a really great, super catchy song. A lot of people seem to like it based on the number of views it has. So let's see what Erik does here and how he makes it dark. Certainly looks dark by this starting freeze frame, hey?
Mississippi in the middle of a dry spell. Jimmy Rogers on the big troll up high. Mama's dancing with baby on her shoulder. The sun is setting like molasses in the sky. The boy could sing, knew how to move.
Well, we're crescendoing now, volume increasing. I'm going to do a quick pause now, just before we head off into the chorus in a moment. Typically, I might kind of tease by pausing just before the chorus starts, but I don't want to do that here. I want to go straight into the chorus with a bit of a build-up because of how the song structurally is. You don't like pauses, I don't like pauses, but 1, copyright, and 2, it gives me a chance to talk a little bit about what we've heard so far. So let's dive straight in, back to the beginning, straight in with the piano. Well, after a few seconds, we come straight in with the root note at the bottom, a synthy sound. I'll get onto that in a moment. The piano that we're hearing, contrapuntal playing. There are loads of different layers, kind of independent voices, and you put them together and it creates a really nice sound. Very rhythmic, very, very rhythmic. And we can hear a sustained line like that. Again, synth, emphasizing moving chords, which is important because there are actually no moving chords at the start in the original song. It's just one chord. I like to try and show clips of the original, but again, because of copyright, if I show more than a few seconds, then it's just an extra copyright issue to deal with. So if I can only show 3 seconds or so, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. We can, of course, hear the melody, though, in the piano here in Erik's version. So it's this kind of illusion of harmonic movement when there isn't any. We can hear that note that we started with, the very first thing we hear, and it's constantly playing underneath everything we're hearing. It's just held down on the synth and always there, signifying no movement. Or is there? I'll get back to this in a moment.
Mississippi in the middle of a dry spell.
It's cool. It's so different to the original song. The original, very bluesy, bass heavy. We have percussion. Here, no. It's ethereal. Upper registers of the piano bringing us in.
Jimmy Rogers on the big troll up high.
And I like the amount of air Erik is using here. We know he can go super, super high in his chest voice, so things are quite contained at the moment. Also, he's using this croaky voice, and he's choosing to use quite a persistent vibrato. We're not getting much straight tone, so in this case, the vibrato is really complementing the airy sound, I think. I do want to carry on with the song, but first I need to get back to the or is there moment, and it's to do with the harmony, and it's really, really important. So let me do that. This is editing, so Hairless. I'm actually going to need to put all of this after my next pause because people complain if I talk too much without playing the song. Oh yeah, the song, like I said, it starts on that deep note. That's the key of Erik's version, E minor, but the original song is actually a tiny bit lower. So Erik is singing a little bit higher than Alana did in the original. So that's cool to see.
The boy could sing, knew how to move everything, always wanting more.
Suspensions are
longing for black velvet and that little boy smile, black velvet with that slow southern style, a new religion that'll bring you to your knees, black velvet if you please. Up in Memphis, the music's like a heat wave, white lightning bound to drive you wild. Mama's babies in the heart of every schoolgirl, love me tenderly, some crying in the eye. The way you moved, it was a sin so sweet and true.
I like this on The Way You Move.
The way you moved, it was
Very subtle run, really cool, really complements his vocal style. It looks like, you know, we're moving into the second chorus. Things could be getting quite big, so I guess we'll find out. I do have confidence saying that, but I don't, because the chorus that we just heard, completely the opposite to what I was expecting.
he'd leave you longing for.
We've got the strings coming in right at the top, the drums, you know, the tension is building. I'm thinking, okay, here we go, loud chorus, and then
Black velvet and that little boy's smile.
oh, beautiful. So much power to be had in a typically loud chorus. It's a famous song. I'm sure we all knew the song beforehand. But no, the power is removed. An element of surprise is just always nice to see. And this piano that we started with, this contrapuntal piano, as I was kind of calling it, I think. That's what we're hearing. It's the focal point again. It's like we've done a circle back to the beginning. Have we really progressed through the song? Really cool to see. Nice video to accompany it.
Black velvet with that.
And now, this chorus phrase, I mentioned earlier, we're not really getting much straight tone, so he's usually singing with vibrato, but here it is straight tone.
Slow southern style.
A little vibrato at the end. Now we get the strings coming in again.
A new religion that'll bring you to your knees.
Emphasizing some unresolved suspensions, actually. And then after the chorus, the strings are hugely important for that rhythmic urgency they provide.
Up in Memphis, the music's like a heat wave.
Cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. So after this loop back to the beginning, at least stylistically, a reduction of the sound. Now we have these new elements introduced, or at least more prominent, changing the sound, building the tension, slowly building up towards the chorus. I will be very surprised if in the next chorus, it's a reduction in sound again. Or he could fool us all by doing it. And then in the third chorus, maybe things will be very big. But if we have an Erik Grönwall video, I will be expecting some really high chest voice, belting and singing. We are kind of being teased with some higher singing because he's singing in octaves in his head voice.
Mama's babies in the heart of every schoolgirl.
You know, up there. Whenever you have two voices singing in octaves, it means that you have chosen not to sing in harmony, because those two voices could be singing in harmony with each other, but no. We have octaves, they're singing the same notes as each other. So now I'm thinking, okay, will there be more voices later? If there are, will there be in harmony? How is it going to grow, basically? Will it just be power, volume in the voice? I don't know. I have these questions. Editing Sir Hairless here again. Now is time for the previous moment. In this dark version, we are basically hearing two chords, unlike the original where there's just one. So we're essentially hearing, that's the harmonic core. On top of this, we have all the other cool bits. But instead of just, we get, with of course that ever-present E at the bottom underneath everything. You would have seen on the screen it says sus, which means suspension. These suspensions, I love suspensions, I always talk about them when they are there to talk about. They add so much tension to the music, and then when they resolve, it's just so nice. A quick 101 on what a suspension is. Basically, it's a suspended note that doesn't really belong in the chord, and it resolves by them falling to a note that does belong. And then we finish with like a standard chord to show you how nicely suspensions can work in a different style of music. really, really nice. So the bit where we paused just before the chorus.
Molasses in the sky. The boy.
Here, I will be listening out to suspensions because in the original song, this bit is essentially just suspensions galore. I'll play a clip from the original. Listen out for this line. Did you hear that? And then it continues.
Always wanting more.
This line, a nice chromatic fall, is essentially the result of just multiple suspensions on the back of each other. The chords are just moving down sequentially. But then you add in the suspensions and you'll get this line. So it will be cool to see if they are kept in Erik's version. If you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting me. You can buy me a coffee or hot chocolate, join our Patreon for loads of additional content that's not available on YouTube, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. All options are linked below, and a special thanks to everyone on the screen. Back to the video.
We moved, it was a sin, so sweet and true. Always wanting more.
Okay, we've again had a little reduction in the sound. But the percussion really coming through now, you know. It's all signifying towards a huge climactic moment. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. We know Erik loves to do them towards the end of his songs. I mean, I've only seen him twice before, but we got that in both of them. So for me, it's a 100% track record. I'm going to assume they come again. Yeah, it's a really cool arrangement. It shows how important your instrumentation is when each instrument you choose to use comes in. I love the electric guitar, giving us some proper power chords. Also this moment. Making use of the slides, the piano just quickly coming in between, but also rhythmically, it emphasizes a rhythmic change. There we get a hemiola. Cha, cha, cha. So in the space of 2 usual beats, bomb, bomb, we now get 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. An intense sort of choral sound in the background. Here, it's much more obviously Erik, I would think. Underneath that super high bit in the blended voice. But we're getting like an type of sound in a backing choir. Prior to that though, it did sound much more choral. We have a mix of ahs and oohs. Every word and every song that he said. Kind of like he did in Oh Holy Night, which I think I pointed out I thought was quite cool. And if we go back to the second chorus, now it's not reserved. We get the full power. Just how high is he singing? Well, he's going up to here. The original was here, so he's a little bit higher. And this is what I call the wow operatic tenor moment, the same note. So it's high, but as we know, no match for Erik. So much power. He must have made the decision at some point to go, I'm not going to sing it in the same key as the original. It's not high enough. Let's go higher. Yeah, what a voice. All right, let's carry on. I sense we're getting a kind of climax, so I hope I'm not wrong there. Lovely way to end. The low bassy synthy sound that we started with. Again, that lovely piano in the upper registers. And then obviously him singing in his falsetto, which is actually lower than he was singing in the chorus. It shows how the different type of voice that you choose to sing with, whether it's a chest voice or blended or a head voice, can kind of give an illusion that it's either lower or higher. Maybe you disagree, but I think if any of us heard that ending, you might think it's higher up than the chorus, maybe because of the high piano too. Well, doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? Yeah, really, really cool cover. This should be called an epic and dark version, just like House of the Rising Sun, because I can confirm, and if you disagree, you are wrong, I can confirm this was epic as well. I'm glad I was right about the climax moment. I thought I was going to be wrong because all the instrumentation was removed. And then he moves up. All these voices come in. And I like how they're a mix of harmony, singing homophonically with Erik, you know, the same words at the same time in the same rhythms, and then switching to the ahs, the backing ahs, just providing these falling chords. A lot of layers in this arrangement for sure, even though it may not sound like it, but we're hearing a lot of different individual lines of music.
If you please.
It seems that Erik does like to finish not with a climax moment. We get a climax moment towards the end and then things are reduced a little bit. That's from my limited Erik experience. So it will be cool to know if that is always the case or if there are some exceptions. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments down below what other Erik videos you'd like me to do. And if you have no suggestions or don't like writing comments, well, maybe you can make an exception and give one of these emojis like you see on the screen now. I like to see all the emojis down below. Really cool cover, great original song. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Like the video to let me know you want to see more Erik on this channel, and I will see you in the next one.